Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to talk about shields. Not shield rune, but monsters that buff shields. There are many monsters in this game with shield buffing skills that can help to offset damage from the enemy's team. Of course, unless you are up against monsters like Laika or Jin, which ignores damage reduction effects. But the question is, how can you use these shields effectively to help your team win the next guild or siege battle? If this is what you are interested in, do watch till the end of this video to find out. First, let's look at the list of monsters with skills that can provide shields to other allies, and there are some exclusions to this list. Firstly, I excluded monsters that only shields itself but not your allies. Secondly, it provides shields that is rather insignificant, for example Sonnet. And thirdly, monsters that only provide a one-turn shields, because anything that is just one turn, it's just not good enough. Also, I got these numbers with reference to sword farm, and the assumption is that all monsters are max skilled. So you can see from the right, I've grouped them into three categories. The first category, they provide shields proportionate to the monster's level. The second one, to its max HP, and third one as others. In the first category, for shields proportionate to monster's level, we have 4 monsters: Bastet, Ileana, Conrad, and Dusky. So what's interesting about this is that, for example, a Bastet that is level 40 will always provide a shield that is 5760 HP worth of shield. There is no way you can increase or decrease it. The only changing factor is its level. And to me, I think the thickness of the shield provided by this category isn't that great, except for probably Conrad. But yeah, it's not too bad. In the second category, we have the most monsters that provide shields proportionate to its max HP. And we have monsters like Woosa, Valeria, Accursis, Khmun, the Paladins, Unicorns, as well as the Mermaids. And it's quite interesting to see the wide range of percentage for this particular category, with Woosa and Valeria being the lowest, 18% of its max HP, compared to Mermaid, which is 32.5% of its max HP. And lastly, in the third category, we have Emma. Her third skills heal the allies, and 50% of the excessive heal will turn into a shield for all the allies. And for Reviti, it provides shield that is 300% of its defense. And lastly, Rashid. Quite interesting, if it kills an enemy, then it will provide a shield that is the target max HP. So all in all, I think the Paladins and the Unicorns, they provide the best AoE shields from this list, which is 24% to all the allies, and the Unicorn will have 36% of its max HP of the shield on itself. And for the best single target shield unit, that will be the Mermaids at 32.5%. And of course, we have to mention Khmun, since he is being used everywhere. He provides a shield which is 26% of its max HP. That is lower than a Mermaid, but do take note that this shield comes up every single turn. And that is why we see Khmun everywhere, because his shield is just so valuable. And in case you guys do not know, this is just for knowledge. For Khmun, without any skill up, he actually provides shield that is 20% of his max HP. And with each skill up, it states there that the shield is plus 10%, but it's actually not additive. It's actually 10% of the 20%. So for each skill up, it's actually a 2% increment in the shield. So in total, once fully skilled, the Khmun will only provide 26% of its max HP on an ally or itself. And that is actually pretty good. And I think before we discuss the next segment, we'll wait for this run to be completed. While we do so, please subscribe to my channel if you find all this information useful. In the next segment, since you guys have seen the list of monsters with skills that provide shields for allies, we'll talk about how we can use these shields effectively. Okay, so the first method, and some of you may have already known this. Let me sell my runes first. Nothing great. Okay, I'll roll this later on. Okay, so some of you might have already know this, and that is to pair any monsters in that list just now with monsters that have a passive to limit incoming damage to a percentage of its HP. And yes, we are talking about monsters like Laika as well as Groggo. Okay, I will show you an example of how you can use such pairings in Siege or Guild War. We'll use Laika, Malaka, as well as Tetra to fight this. Okay, so Laika has its passive and Tetra actually provides the shield. So Perna will always hit Laika since the other two units are water. And in this case, it's pretty important for me to protect Laika with the shield. And I have calculated Laika will be able to take about 2 hits. I mean, the second hit will break the shield on Laika, but that is okay. So this concept is actually pretty interesting because for Laika, your damage cannot go beyond 30% of its max HP. That means you need 4 hits to kill Laika. But on top of the shield provided, it could take up to 6 hits to kill Laika, and so that is pretty great. And I thought using Malaka here will be quite interesting because the HOH just passed. Alright, let's shield Laika again. So let's try to get rid of Perna. So you see the shield is still there. Let's try to get rid of Perna so that the druid can use the revive. Oh, he already used it. Oh no! My Malaka is dead. I think we still got this. I think. Never mind, with Malaka gone means Laika must work harder, right? Alright, we have gotten rid of Perna. Let's go with, let's see, shield myself. Let's kill Harmonia. It's unfortunate that Malaka died, so that will take pretty long. Oh, finally! We are down with one last druid. Took me so long after Malaka died. Okay, we will clean this up. So yeah, this team works. And it's quite nice because for Laika, even though my Malaka died, because Laika damage increases with the number of dead allies, so that is pretty nice. Okay, let's try another one before we talk about the second method, but this time with Groggo. We'll fight this defense. Since there's a Miho, it will go well with Groggo, and we will use Khmun. My Groggo, and the last one will be Harmonia. Okay, speed lead. Yep. So the concept is the same because Miho will always attack Groggo, and you need 5 hits to kill Groggo, and with the shield that's even more. So we should be fine here. And I think the strategy for this team is to kill off Velodro since it boosts the attack bar as well as provide immunity, and with immunity I can't really heal block Miho. So yeah, let's kill off Velodro. The healing from Feng Yan is quite little, so I'm not too concerned. Over time we will be able to cheese Velodro down. Just need one more hit from Khmun maybe. And for this, if you guys haven't seen my Groggo video, which I posted a couple of days ago, please do check it out, because if you haven't built Groggo, I would strongly suggest you to do so. He's just so good, his passive is so good. Okay, let's get rid of Velodro, and now we are left with Miho. Let's get rid of Miho first. Okay, let's do this unwanted harmony. Let's heal my Khmun. Okay, managed to get a heal block, that's good. My Khmun is built on crit damage, so his damage is quite decent, I guess. Otherwise, this might take even longer. Let's do unwanted harmony again, why not? Okay, now we just need to get rid of Miho. We did manage to, and we can auto Feng Yan. There's no way Feng Yan will be able to kill Groggo unless maybe he proc 10 times. Especially with the shield on Groggo. So yeah, the concept for this team is pretty similar to the one with Laika. So whether or not to use Groggo or Laika depends on the situation and the enemy that you are facing. Always use elemental advantage to strategize. That's always the key thing. Okay, so this works. Okay, on to the second method. This second method might not be as good as the first one, but it might still be useful to know, and that is to pair any of the monsters in that list shown previously with defense build monsters. Why I say defense build and not defense type monsters? Because for this to work well, you need to build them with defense stats, and that is important. So let's try this out. We will fight this team, and we will use Virat. So Virat is built defensively, so he qualifies. And then we will have Khmun to provide the shield. And lastly, we will bring in Delphoy. My Delphoy is also built on speed, defense, so it qualifies as well. Oops, I didn't press OK. And let's go with Virat lead, it's fine. So for this, why I say it's not as good is because it really depends on your defense stats, right? If your defense stats is low, then the enemy will still do quite a bit of damage. So that's something to note. And of course, there's always a risk of getting defense broken. If you get defense broken, then this wouldn't work. Oops, my team is getting low on health. Let's control them. Yes, we managed to get everything. Let's slow Molong. Freeze them again. Let's kill Harmonia. So the thing is that with defense built monsters, you will naturally receive lesser damage provided you don't get defense broken. That means the shield on your defense built monsters can last longer, right? Let's say for example, I have a 10k shield and every hit I receive is less than 1000, right? That will naturally be more efficient in terms of the shield usage. So this kind of combination is pretty good, but of course, like I said, it's not as good as the first method, and I somehow find it super useful with Varad because Varad can do the CC, so that actually helps to buy some time when you need it to be, right? So that works as well. So these are the two methods, and the first method to pair those monsters with Laika and Grogo is highly recommended. Do try it out, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet, and thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next video.